Hello and welcome! I'm the expert Layman, and this is Smite farming. Well, farming with my Smite priest. I never ever would have expected that this was the best farming class in the game. I probably spent hundreds, almost certainly spent hundreds of hours farming on a hunter, and never would have believed I could have been outdone by a priest. But here I am. Look at my streams working, and I'll do a quick recap of the build, but I am going to be very careful not to leave my screen on the side screen again, because I did that 4,000 rep an hour grind for Aldor, went off like a charm. I actually pulled it off, got done, realized I had been on the side screen the whole time, which is why I made it private. I don't think anybody wants to watch my character sheet and the extreme far left of my game, because I play on 3 screens. So right now we're on the left screen. To give you an idea of the gear, it is mostly blues and mostly healing. This I still have because I haven't found something that gives me... the reason I think people don't discover this is because the Professor Plums. Spirit is so powerful that when you get that epic, that is clearly an upgrade, you know, in virtually everybody's eyes, and you sacrifice a little bit of spirit, and then you get another upgrade, and you mana per 5, you know, that's like spirit, and before you know it, you know, you're in all epics, but now, like, you can't do this anymore. But like I said, it's still spirit on everything, and damage and healing on everything, and not really so important whether it's a healing piece or a damage piece. Although for farming, don't really need as much hit. Yeah, I dropped a couple hundred on this because it just fits the build so well. Sure, I'll be getting the neck later. And as far as spec, I just go down and grab this. This I'm kind of iffy on, but and this is just nice tactically, even though you really never know when it's working. Those occasions where everybody, like a gust of wind of a fear comes through and everybody gets blown away and you're still standing there, probably because of this. And this doesn't come up too often. Obviously, you want the threat reduction. This I'm going back and forth on because since I don't really need the mana anymore, and 25% on one spell, that's obviously a must for pretty much any build. This is better than the alternatives. Spirit and Improved Divine Spirit are critical for the build, and the hit rating and the super nice having a 1/2 second cast Mass Dispel. This it seems great, but it's not. It doesn't do as much as other stuff. And of course, in the Holy chain that only works on healing spells, but it's good for keeping you alive. These are fairly obvious. The reach does make a big difference, and the total spirit bump, and this is critical for the build, and of course that is also. The thing that really makes the farming thing work is when this pops, well, I don't have buffs on right now, but my 540 or 550 spirit, you know, goes up to like 1100, and that gives me about 200 or 300 more damage and healing, and puts my mana regen while casting, because this 50% of your mana regen will continue while casting because of this, and you already have this, and they don't seem to combine, they actually seem to what do you call it, compound. So I'm getting like 800 or 900 mana per 5 while casting, as long as I can keep that buff up, which basically makes my mana endless. And I'm usually sitting close to I don't know, 900. I know I go over 1,000 sometimes with the trinkets and the spirit tap. So I was farming in Sketties because I needed some primal water for my Warlock's Shadow Weave boots. So that actually dropped my DPS a bit. Let's go back to the other screen. You see, this is at 825. It's like 4 million on there. I didn't reset it after farming last night, and it was at 850, but farming in Sketty's farming the water elementals, you know, it's not as efficient because you got like swim and stuff, so it dropped me down a little bit. But while farming up here, I was getting 850 DPS with a holy priest in mostly healing gear and mostly blues. Seems like a thing that shouldn't exist, so I thought I would do a stream, and let me check that. I normally don't farm at this time of day because people get in your way and they screw up your efficiency. But I suppose if you got to choose, do you want you want to do a stream when people are awake, or do you want to do it when it's good to farm? You don't get both. So I am just going to run through and just kind of show how efficient this is. Minimize that. Minimize that. Let me make sure I can hear myself. Not that I would ever want to. Your own voice. Isn't it brutal? Okay. A little stutter there. That was weird. Well, I get self-buffed. And, you know, it's a stream. I'll juice up. And I love that the Blackened Basilisk. 23 spell damage and 20 spirit, because I get at least 30 spell damage out of that. And the Superior Wizard Oil. And what the hell? An Adept's Elixir. I don't think I have a thing set up for the right screen, so... Oh, shoot. Why did I close that? Okay. I don't even bother with the inner fire. Those things rarely touch me. And I'll start it off fun with a nice AoE pull. Since everything appears to be up. Probably can't get that guy, he'll probably reset. But that's not a reason not to try. Really? I don't know why I put the renew on. It's always gone by the time I pick everything up. Nice thing is they don't have like knockbacks. Of course, you don't want to stand in like 3 of those flames at the same time. That can get brutal. I gotta pull this over because it's halfway on my screen and halfway off. Okay, for that. Like 1,000 DPS. So what I seem to average up here is almost 30 Marks of Sargeras an hour and like 3 Fell Armaments. And on this server, that's about at least 50 gold, depending, but it might be as much as 60 gold. And oh well, I don't want to fight 3. That could slow things down, unless I'm doing an AoE pull. I did not get the volume turned all the way down on my phone when I was checking. Now I can hear whispers of my own voice, which frankly doesn't improve it at all. There we go. The Blizzard seems to do this a lot, to where there's something cool you can get access to, but they try to tease you away with other stuff. I noticed this in a lot of different places. The one that's occurring to me right now was in the Wrath of the Lich King, where the Feral DPS rotation was the most complicated rotation to try to maintain. And the only way to pull good DPS, because you'd be sitting there with 5 combo points, and that ferocious bite sitting there, and it's like, nope, you can't. If you do it, you won't have enough for your other stuff. Let's see if I can get... Yeah, I was farming in Sketties. I was breaking 2,600. Hey, there's There's a nice Smite crit. If I'd had my Spirit tap up, definitely would have been a lot more. I still haven't seen the 2700 yet. I figure I'd just run around for a bit and show you the damage and the endless mana. I actually felt bad. There was just like there was a shaman out there trying to farm the waters, and he just didn't. Because like, especially when you have endless mana, you don't have to stop and drink. So like the fact that you're underwater and you're undead. Although I suppose I could have gotten a water breathing turd out of my bank. But as an undead, it takes you forever to drown anyway, so it's not that big of an advantage. And as far as mob tapping, Shadow Word Death is better than an arcane shot. Like, a hunter doesn't have an instant cast tap a mob ability. The arcane shot has to get there, as all their shots have to get there. But the Shadow Word Death is instant as soon as I get within 30 yards. Is it only 30 yards? I guess it doesn't get the benefit of the range. It's Shadow, duh. But yeah, I was kind of focused, so I didn't. I privated the stream that I was on the wrong screen for almost the whole thing, but I did pull it off. I did get my 4,000 rep an hour. I had something like 5,200 to go, and it was like an hour and 15 minutes, so right on par. Oh, I did that out of sequence. You want to get the Spirit Tap and the 2 trinkets up at the same time if I want to see the maximum Smite crit. I just want to see that 2,700. I don't want to see 2,700. I'm going to want to see 2,800, but should have used the Shadow Word Death there. I just cost myself time. A bit autistic, a bit OCD with the... Oh, she lost her imp. Wonder where he wandered off to. He probably should have stayed wandered off. The Shadow Word Death is so nice for just like finishing them off if things just don't like match up right. With the 2-second cast. That was what... sucks when you can't get the cannons in 2 hits. Okay. Let's judge something there. They will occasionally throw up a I didn't see it on them. Like 30% damage reduction off on themselves. And it seems like anywhere you go to farm, technically I'd make more money farming the waters because the waters are worth like 15 gold a piece right now. That's what they're going for. When I went to buy them, which is why I went out to farm them. And I could probably get 10 of those an hour, so like the 100 gold an hour is a very conservative estimate of what I can make. I just wanted to go with the hard numbers that I had from the last time I was up here. Give me the big one. Give me the big one. That's better. We'll go ahead and fear him because I don't want him getting through my bubble or putting the buff up on himself if I can avoid it. Still got through the bubble. Yeah, tab to the guy I can't reach. That's good. Should be able to adjust your tab targeting range. Don't go out of range. Don't go out of range. Okay. I hate it when they go out of range and screw up your precast. And I would recommend the mixed scrolling combat text, although I downloaded it right off the site, and then as soon as I put it on, it's like, hey, there's a new version available. It's like, is there? Because it seems like that's what they would have given me. Oh, well. I was going to fight two, or I was going to have to fight two. Come on, give me a... There we go. Don't have to worry about my mana. Figured I'd just drain myself and see how long it takes me to get back to full without taking a break. It's funny, I've been in dungeons where somebody's drinking next to me and their mana's going up slower than mine is just standing there. You know, you want it WoW when someone thinks you're hacking when you're not. Probably, oddly enough, the most epic thing I think I ever did in like vanilla WoW was somehow I rode in the Flight Master Tower at Orgrimmar. Somehow I rode all the way to the top without getting dismounted. Never happened before, never happened since, not sure. Special kind of lag in the server, I suppose. But when I got to the Flight Master, guys just like hacks. I don't know if he is connected. Oh yeah, he is. Oh, come on. Why would you tab to that guy? Oh, that was supposed to be a Shadow of Death. God, I love this. It's almost not worth looting the Legion Fell Cannons. Like, those demonic capacitors, or what, like 8 silver or something. Oh, wow. Oh, I suppose I should heal myself. The big one. Wow. Well, when I have the 2 trinkets and the spirit tap up, I have 1,299 bonus damage. Craziness. Oh, I don't normally go over on this side. I believe their drop rate is as low that these guys knock back or do something annoying. I remember not to do it, I just don't remember why not to do it. Yeah. Maybe the AoE pull is back up again. Not yet. I guess these guys respawn faster. Or somebody else killed them while I was on the other side. I didn't pay attention to how long it took to get my mana back. It was, what, 2 pulls? 3 pulls? Oops, didn't realize I was holding a Surge of Light. resist... Oh, he's got his buff up. I'll just go for like a half hour and then see what's in my bags and how much it's worth. Give me the big one. That wasn't that big. 3,500 Smite crits in a row and I'm complaining. 1.4k for that one, for that pull. Oh. This is so amazing. Like, if you had 4 of me in your group, you wouldn't need a healer, and you almost wouldn't need a tank. But might be optimal as like a shaman. Is there, what is that, Wrath Totem or whatever? The one that gives you like crit and hit, or spell hit? But you think when you figure something out and it's it's really cool, that people would like be like, wow. But what actually happens in the real world when you know or do something that somebody doesn't think you should be able to or know about, they become weird and suspicious. I mean, good people don't do that, but most people aren't that good. So when you say, hey, I can do this cool thing with the priest, they're like, okay, you know, and to be fair, they've probably heard this crap a bunch of times, and every other time the person has had no idea what they're talking about. So, but then, when you actually do it, suddenly it's like they get all like quiet and weird. Like they can't cope, like they're not ready to accept being wrong. But they're also not ready to confront what happened, so they just kind of like suppress it and sort of act like it didn't happen. This happens in a lot of areas. Because, you know, a psychology nerd came a long way in understanding human nature. You know, people do not respond well when you know things about them they wouldn't expect you to know. Even if it's like fairly mundane. They're like immediately suspicious. I guess that's why people have to act like a magician or a guru or something like that. Like there's only certain contexts people will tolerate that in, and I don't exist in one of them. And I'm not really interested in occupying either of those. How far are we in? Let me just check. Oh wow, only 10 minutes? I guess because I spent so much time here the other night, just plowing through. Well, that's not right. Out of sequence. See, I'm just not as focused as I was the other night. So focused on the fact that I wasn't paying attention to what was going on my stream. Yeah, I've looked at it. To be fair, I haven't looked that hard, but just like people like putting up like videos of like how fast they can farm stuff. But they are selective. In other words, they don't count the time in between mobs, and they don't count the time they have to spend drinking or... Wow, that thing came back fast. Didn't I just kill it? Yeah, I suppose I should put up a shadow resist. Yeah, I don't think they drop anything else. I've looted them a lot of times. Are you alone? Are there more of you? Is it worth... I guess they're not up yet. And those things respawn fast. I'm not using the trinkets because I want to use them when I have the spirit tap on. I want to see that 2700 Smite crit. Come on, be good to me. Oh, that's cool. He went that way. You'd think I'd get better at looting. I gotta figure all this other stuff out. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm gonna move the other focus points to, but there's gotta be a better place. It's really just not doing that much more for me anymore. I'm gonna... a couple more improvements and I'll do another stream in a dungeon. Just, I don't like just surfing through, like, the databases of who drops what. I kind of like the surprise of, like, oh, wow, is that really my first one? Well, I guess it seems to be about every 10 minutes just I would get one, so I guess that's sort of on par. I think it's actually more, what do you call it? Lucrative to go do the Sun Furies. Okay, here we go. The 1300 spell power. It's really nice having multiple classes, but when you see the freaking mining nodes that you can't pick because you're on the wrong character, always hurts. It's like kind of like buying a car. I just got the buff on it. Not gonna make no. I like when I have the surge of light. I like to. Excuse me. Okay. Well, I'm glad there's a little red light on my mute button. Come on. Let's see if I can get the 9 points with my staff. That's great. Yeah, I'm not farming at maximum efficiency here, and I just noticed that I did not clear up my bag, so it's going to be hard to judge exactly how much I made from this, because I still have the skitties crap in there. But I think how quickly things are dying is a sufficient demonstration. Like if you had like the instant kill button, if you had like an instant cast button, where you could just run around, hit the one button, it would kill anything, it wouldn't be that much more efficient than what I'm doing. But still, most of it is just like walking around and, you know, getting to stuff. And looting. I'm looking forward. I got 2 pieces of the, what is it, the Shadow Weave set for him. It's so brutal. I'm like, I was buying the Shadow Weave, which is going for like 40 gold, which doesn't seem bad considering that's like a 4-day cooldown. Oh, cool, looks like the AoE picks up. If you pull them in the direction that you want to take them, you can take them a little bit further. Learn that AoE hurting on my mage. Really? It's not as many as I would have preferred, but this works. My trinkets aren't out, but that doesn't really matter. That's what I like to see. One-shots, or what appear to be one-shots. Give me the good stuff. I mean, the timing of your looting is almost more important than the timing of your spellcast when it comes to efficiency. No. No, they don't do this, but... Well, the timing sometimes works out excellent. Let's get my demonic capacitor. Oh, he's got a stupid thing up. It's like, I'm just gonna kill him with like a 1,000 mana instant cast AoE, and I'm gonna use it on a single target just because I can. But the thing is, if you are like, you know, a healer and you haven't replaced like too much of your spirit with mana per 5, you can do this. Fortunately, it looks like Blizzard saw the potential of this, so like it's hard to get this kind of spirit on raid gear. That's okay. I don't really care for 25 mans anyway. It's too busy. Too much drama. Less personal. But I also kind of needed to farm to make up for all the money I spent getting those 2 pieces of the Soulfire kit, or what do you call it? Set. Soulfire set for my Warlock. And that 5%, is it 2%? I think it's 2%. You heal yourself for 2% of the damage you do. On an Affliction Warlock, that's freaking crazy. Is that like a 2000 Shadow Bolt, which is pretty standard? Will heal you for 40 health. This is not that much, but you know, lots of little adds up to a lot. Oops. So I have 30... I'm going for what, 20... 30, about 30 minutes, and I have 30 marks of Sargeras. I've only got one fell armament, but those are fairly random. They seem to average out to about, like 3 an hour, but... Well, hadn't planned on making this a super long stream, and to be honest, I spent a lot of time up here. So I think I might just, you know, call it now that I did this without... Yeah. Well, please try to save any gear. If you have a priest, do not disenchant or vendor. When you upgrade something to an epic and that epic doesn't have spirit, keep the old piece, because there's a very good chance it'll be better for farming than a piece with mana per 5. And intellect is stupid. It doesn't, I mean, yeah, crit, okay, but so intellect and stamina is survivable, but you know, it does help you survive. But like, as far as efficiency and farming, it's just spirit, damage, and healing. Well, thank you for joining me. If you have any questions about the build, you can, there should be a link to my Discord in the description. And you all have a great day.